Hello and welcome. I'm Elaine Starling, the Abundance Ambassador and the host of the Abundance Journey video show and podcast. Entrepreneurs who want to create lasting prosperity and fulfillment work with me to make sure their transformations stick. Now, I mentioned in the last show that I got to have this amazing conversation with the divine during my stroke. And my experience with the divine, honestly, it felt like I was standing under a Niagara Falls of this intense, effervescent joy and delight and wonder and gratitude, supportive love, this total clarity, like a really deep knowing, totally different than anything I'd ever experienced before. It really rocked my world. And I came out of the stroke even though I didn't have any damage, I was completely healthy after the stroke. It really freaked me out. It didn't matter that it had been so incredibly wonderful. In fact, that was almost part of the problem because before the stroke, I didn't woo, let alone woo woo. I was really into the logical, organized structure, the sequence of things, and this whole unusual spiritual experience just really kind of knocked me off my game a little bit. The thing that was very interesting is that just because I wasn't in Niagara Falls anymore doesn't mean it didn't continue. It kept coming. I kept getting these divine downloads every once in a while, and every time something came in, it felt really, really good. Every time I got a divine download, I would feel so cherished, so valued and supported and capable. Instead of waiting to receive a message and just always kind of wondering where it was and when I was going to get another one, I wanted to figure out how could I be proactive and initiate that connection, initiate that conversation. So I started getting really curious. I started reading Abraham Hicks books and watching their videos on YouTube. I went to a couple of their sessions that they did on their tour. I attended every single Tony Robbins event. I listened to spiritual masters. I watched The Secret. I didn't leave it there because I still had a business to run. And I've always been interested in business and entrepreneurship. So I attended a lot of business conferences. I read all kinds of books because I really wanted to understand the how-to side of things. And the part that frankly blew me away as I was attending these conferences and networking with these high-powered, accomplished business professionals, I was really surprised to find out how spiritual they are. I mean, who knew? I thought it was all, nuts and bolts, cut to the chase, right? Well, after a while, a pattern started to emerge, and I call it activating abundance. There are 4 very important strategies that I cover in detail in the Abundance Journey training, but I want to give you a quick overview of how activating abundance works. So step 1, you got to get your yeah, baby on. If you didn't see the last episode, yeah, baby is that feeling of being centered and grounded, but curious and eager to know more. You're ready for what's next. You don't know what's coming. You have no idea. You just know there's a blessing in there. It's going to enrich your life somehow. It's almost like, have you ever done one of those white elephant exchanges where you wrap up a gift for somebody else? And imagine that you're participating in one of these white elephant exchanges with the universe, with the divine. But when you have that, yeah, baby energy going through you, you always receive exactly what you need right now. Honestly, celebrating in advance, making sure you have that, yeah, baby energy going, it's incredibly, massively important. It makes a huge difference with everything in your life. Step 1, start with the yeah, baby, celebrate in advance. Step 2, acknowledge the abundance that is present, because abundance is always around you in variety of forms. For example, abundance can be as simple as hearing bird song outside, or getting a rocking parking place when you kind of weren't expecting it. It could be hearing a really interesting idea on the Abundance Journey show. What's important is for you to acknowledge the abundance that is present out loud. So you say, wow, that's a really lovely bird song. What a rocking parking space. Love that. Wow, I hadn't thought of that idea that way before. The key thing is to make sure you acknowledge the abundance that is present. That's step 2. Step 3, appreciate the abundance you notice. It's amazing to me how many times people go, yeah, great space, to park, and they just move on. No. Stop. You need to appreciate the abundance that you notice. Thank the birds out loud. Thank the parking gods, whatever you believe in that led you to that parking space. Thank the helpful person who shared an interesting idea. And it's really helpful to be as concrete as possible. For example, you could say out loud, I really appreciate the way you spell out how to activate abundance, Elaine. It's easy to understand. It's a little silly. It's a little goofy. It's a little out there. But hey, I know I can do this. It's not hard. When you appreciate abundance out loud, you're using several different senses at once. You are stating what you want to the universe because it's how you feel, and that will line up. And you're expressing gratitude at the same time. That is just an incredibly super powerful space to be in. Make sure you appreciate the abundance you're receiving in any form that shows up. Step 4, activate abundance by embodying the abundance you just appreciated. Let me explain what I mean. When you hear uplifting birdsong and you take the time to notice it, you acknowledge, wow, that birdsong is just so lovely. Thank you, birds, for sharing this beautiful song with me. You'll notice that you start to feel better. It improves your mood just by taking the time to acknowledge and appreciate the birdsong. You can activate abundance in your body by anchoring in that feeling good sensation. It's a physical sensation. Now, when you find a rocking parking spot, it's really interesting. All of a sudden, you feel a little more capable and resourceful. You're like, yeah, my timing is so awesome. You can activate abundance in your body and in your mind by anchoring in that feeling of confidence. Now, when you hear an interesting idea and you decide you're going to implement it, you actually put it on your calendar and you attach it to a regular behavior that you do, like when you brush your teeth, you're going to do this, right? When you do that, you've got an interesting idea and you decide when you're going to implement it, you activate abundance in your body, in your mind, and in your life every single time you take action that's related to that idea. Remembering to activate abundance is the key to creating lasting abundance and transformation that sticks. So I'm going to be reminding you to activate abundance at the end of every single episode, and I'll do it with you. You get to decide how you're going to activate abundance in your own life at the end of every single episode. But the more you get in the habit of activating abundance, you bring your yeah, baby, you acknowledge abundance, appreciate abundance, and then you decide how you're going to implement it in your life, you'll be amazed at how abundance shows up in every single aspect of your life. Make sure you join the Abundance Journey community by visiting the website, theabundancejourney.com, and take a minute to share how you're activating abundance and what's showing up for you. I'll see you in the next episode. Watch my TED Talk, Abundance is a Choice. You can visit theabundancejourney.com to find the link and discover how you can receive a special gift. You are a blessing and you are blessed.